Hi everyone. So what we're going to look at today is how to use these negative counters. Okay, so all I've done is you've each got a set of these, okay, that you cut out yourself. And what we're going to do is we're going to talk about what happens when we use them, okay? So you'll have yellow ones and red ones. So yellow represent +1, okay? So I'll just write it on one of them, okay? So this is +1, okay? The red counters are worth -1, okay? So -1, okay? So what happens when we have a positive and a -1 together? Well, we've talked about this, haven't we? We've talked about that these are opposites. So if you have a look at my video on using the number line, okay, which involves this, okay, we talked about them being opposite. So 1 and -1 are opposite to each other. They're the inverse, okay, they're opposites. So what they do is when they come together, they actually make 0, so they can just disappear, okay? So if I put all these positives and negatives together, okay, like this, okay, I'm going to put a few more together, okay, so you can see them all here. This answer is still 0, okay, because positive and a negative make 0, positive and negative make 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, okay, so they're the opposites, okay. So if I said to you, what's the opposite of +3, you would tell me -3, okay, because that's the opposite, okay. Right, so what we're going to do is we're going to look at how these work, okay. So for the first question, it's asking us for each diagram, state if the value is 0, true or false, okay. So what we have to do is we're going to have to look for pairs, aren't we? Okay, so we know that a positive and a negative will make 0, okay. So I have a pair here, so that's going to make 0. So's this, so's this. So this one is true, okay, because all our pairs make 0s. Okay, let's try it on this one. So here's a pair, here's a pair, here's a pair. That's what I've got left. So this one is false. And what this one makes is -2, okay, because these are all worth 0. And then this one here, I'm left with 2 negatives, so it's left with -2. Okay, next ones. So pair, 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 pair. So yes, this is true. This makes 0. Let's put that this one makes 0. Okay. Let's have a look at D. Pair, pair. What am I left with? I'm left with this. So I'm left with -1. So this one is false. Okay. Right. What I want you to do now is you're gonna pause the video and you're gonna have a go at the next two, and you're gonna say whether it's true or false. And it makes 0. If it doesn't make 0, what does it make? Okay, so you have a go at the last two. Okay, so I hope you've done those. So I'll go through the last two. So this is a pair and these are a pair, and I'm left with 1 positive. So this is false again, but I'm left with 1, okay, +1. Right, let's do the last one. This is a pair, this is a pair, this is a pair, and this is a pair. So this one is true because it makes 0 because there's nothing left over. Okay, so I hope you all got that. Right, the next part to this then is, so it says add extra counters to each of the diagrams below so that they equal 0. So remember, they each have to have a pair. So I'm going to use my red and yellow pens for this. Okay, so I've got a pair here and I've got a positive on its own. So I'll need to draw a negative. So then they become a pair to make it 0. Okay, let's have a look at the next one. I've got a positive and a negative. I've got 2 negatives left. So to make that 0, I need the opposite, which is 2 positives. So they become a pair, and they become a pair, and it becomes 0. Okay, so I want you to pause the video again, and I want you to have a go at these 4. Okay, so let's see how you did. So for C, you needed to add in 3 more negatives. So I've put these as my pair, okay? these are a pair, so I would need a positive to go with that one, a positive to go with that one, and a positive to go with that one. Okay, E, these are a pair, so I'd need a positive to go with this one and a positive to go with that one. And the last one, so this is a pair, this is a pair, this is a pair, and I've got a positive left, so it needs to be paired up with a negative. Okay, so I hope you understand how the negative counters are going to work, especially when it comes to zeros. Okay, and what you need to remember is when we're using zeros, they don't have any effect on the number. So like I showed at the beginning, I had 6 positives and 6 negatives, but my answer was still 0. Okay, and like on these, I've got a 0, a 0, and I've still got -1 left, so my answer is -1. Okay, so now we're going to move on to looking at adding and subtracting positives and negatives. Have a look at my next videos.